All right. Well, thank you, Ashley, first of all, for having me. My name is Katie, and I'm with EdPuzzle, as you can see. And I was just talking a little bit. This is fun, sort of working with higher ed. I worked at Central Michigan University before EdPuzzle, so I taught one class a semester, but then my primary role was museum educator. So I was in the museum field, but we had a museum studies program at the university. So that's sort of what I did before this, and then now work with districts. I'm in Michigan, actually, so Michigan and Indiana who work with or who use EdPuzzle. And actually, so of the four of you that are on, if you don't mind, are any of you EdPuzzle users or are you new to EdPuzzle?
New. I've heard
Okay.
of it, but I'm not
Okay.
other than that.
Perfect.
Same thing. I've heard of it, but I've not before.
All right. That is great. So I have slides here, and then actually, if I could find the the chat. I feel like I don't use Zoom very often anymore. And so I feel like my chat, oh, there it is. Okay. I will put this link to this should be, oh no, this is just one person. Sorry, everyone. Okay, so this should be the link to the slides for this. Double check that it says Franklin College because I'm also prepping other slides. Thank you. These slides, there's more than probably what I'll get through in 30 minutes, but I just like to put more in there in case you want to reference back. So it'll be sort of an overview of EdPuzzle. Basically, EdPuzzle is a wonderful platform and tool for using video with your students. So think about video, think about EdPuzzle, and I'll go into lots of different ways to use it, but video, it can be a video that's from YouTube. It can be a video that you screen record and create yourself. It can be a video that, like a lesson that's already created, has questions embedded that someone who teaches your subject in a different state or a different country has, and you can make a copy and assign it to your students. So Franklin College has EdPuzzle Pro, which allows unlimited storage space. So that is sort of the key difference in terms of like a free account or a paid account. If you ever talk to someone, just kind of know that reference point. You guys currently have the paid version, so you have unlimited access. And with this, so this second bullet point here, add your assessment questions. And then the third point, track your students' progress. That, in my mind, is one of the best things about EdPuzzle because it's basically it's a formative assessment tool that you can use because throughout, and I'll show a little bit about this. And then, of course, jump in at any point. Feel free to interrupt me if you have questions. But there's so many different ways. And I feel like it's one of those things too that you could sort of evolve and grow with. If you sort of start out, maybe copy a video or pull in a video from YouTube. And then as you get more comfortable with it, expand, use in different ways. And in general, though, students tend to like using EdPuzzle as, a video platform because of the flexibility. So as students are watching a video on EdPuzzle, like a lesson that's assigned to them, as they're watching the video, it will pause when a question comes up. And then there's some like accountability factors that are nice because students can't click out to a different tab. It very much forces them to watch the video that you've assigned. They can't skip ahead in the video. So they have to, they can go back and rewatch sections if they get distracted or just need to hear it. It's here and see it again. But they can watch it at their own pace. So I personally know that I'm a very visual learner. If I only hear something like in a lecture, I struggle to absorb it. But being able to see it on a video and then go back and rewatch it at my own pace or however many times I want to, I think if I would have had this as a student, it would have helped me a lot. And then Ashley and I have talked about how the college uses Canvas now. So it's really easy to use EdPuzzle and Canvas together. We have tons of resources with that, but I'll probably jump in and just kind of show that too. So Ashley just posted the link to create an EdPuzzle account through Franklin College's account. As long as you use your email address, you'll be automatically upgraded to Pro. And with it, let me see if there's anything back on this slide right here. Okay, hold on. So when you create your account, select it forces you to select a grade or content area. The next step at some point, you don't have to do it this moment, but just open your email and verify your account. That's the important piece to make sure you're upgraded to unlimited storage space, is verifying your email. And that also links you in with the college's network. So you can share content amongst yourselves, your colleagues, really easily. Again, if someone is teaching something similar, maybe collaborate. You don't have to recreate the wheel. But when you're going in and you're selecting a video, I mentioned this earlier, but you have a lot of options. So again, you can use, there's a screen recorder built right into EdPuzzle. You just have to have the EdPuzzle Chrome extension, and I believe that should be linked later in these slides. I'll make sure it is, but Chrome extension allows you to do screen recording. And there's also another helpful thing with the Chrome extension. It allows you to pull in a YouTube video right into the EdPuzzle editor. And the nice thing about using EdPuzzle for YouTube videos, we have a partnership with YouTube. They have a new YouTube player for education, and it removes all of the ads. It removes any recommended videos. Again, it's sort of just that extra level of security so that students are only watching the video that you've assigned. They can't click out and get into YouTube. Obviously, they can get into YouTube on their own time, but it removes that level of distraction that when they're doing your assignment and watching this video, they're only watching that video. We have a collection of EdPuzzle originals, which are made by our curriculum team. Those are new, and actually they're currently more geared towards element K-12, and then but they're expanding into different areas. There's a folder of study skills that honestly I feel like is great for all ages, financial literacy, different holidays and events throughout the year. So those are really good to check out too. You can upload a video file. So if you record a video, even on your phone, upload video file, you can add that in. And then again, YouTube network channel. The screen recorder that I mentioned, you have a lot of options here too. So if you've ever used a different screen recorder, there's a whiteboard tab, there's drawing tools. You can trim out and, fix sections. If you take a 10-minute recording, cut it down to 5 minutes, assign that to your students. In general, our recommendation is, 5 to 7 minutes. If you have longer videos that you want to share with students, you can chop them up and then link them together with a playlist if you want to. Again, finding a video, I sort of just went through this, but this is where once you're logged in on the homepage, different sections to sort of explore and find videos. Let me actually log in and I'll show you this real quick. When you're logged into EdPuzzle here, do you still see this or did it switch? Okay, perfect. The network tab right here, this is what you would click if you want to sort of browse within Franklin College. This Discover tab up on the left, if you want to search by a particular subject, pull in YouTube videos. If you want to search for a topic, you can just put it in here. This blue button, that's what I was going to show you. The blue button up here, this is where you can upload a video, create playlists. Playlists are new just within the last couple of months. You can link together particular videos and then the students have to watch them in order to progress through the playlist. The Chrome extension right here. So if you're on any website. So you don't have to be in EdPuzzle to start screen recording. You can be on any website here and then just hit the Chrome extension and start recording from there. So just keep that in mind in terms of having the Chrome extension. And then when you're in YouTube, this button right here, when you have the Chrome extension, it gives you this button down here, edit with EdPuzzle. So then you pull this. I mean, it's super easy and convenient because you just go that one click, and then this is what it looks like when you're editing a video. So no matter what video you find, if you go in and hit edit, it gives you options to make cuts. Whoops, not what I want to do. Add cuts, add voiceover, and then add questions. These are your options for types of questions. So you have multiple choice questions. These are graded automatically. So you'll set what the correct answer is. And then as students complete it, it'll grade it for you. If you have an assignment that's only multiple choice questions, the student would find out their grade right then. And we actually added a thing recently where you can set multiple attempts. So when you assign it, you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or unlimited. And then if a student gets a question wrong before they submit it officially for a grade, they can try that question again. They can go back and edit their multiple choice or their open-ended questions if they want to. Lots of options there. And then the other thing, which this seems really simple, but it's honestly a game changer once you start to really utilize it, is within any of these types of questions, so multiple choice, open-ended, or just like a note, you can add a link in. So you can link out to anything else on the internet. So if you use other platforms or tools, like Flip, Jamboard, any like collaborative thing, you could add a link into here, add a link into a news article, or just anything like that. You can add in images. If there's any math faculty around, you can add in the like equation tools. So lots of powerful things within there. And then the microphone right here, this is brand new. And in the almost 3 years that I've been at EdPuzzle, one of the most requested things. So what this allows you to do is you as the faculty can read aloud the question, both the question and the answers, if you wish. So I think in terms of accessibility and having that option for students who either prefer to listen or, have accommodations, that's a nice option if you want to use it. The other thing within like thinking about audio is on open-ended questions, you can toggle this on and allow students to answer with audio. So it's an option. You could, if you do this, students can still type in their answer. You could type in and say, answer with an audio response, whatever the question is. Again, just an option if you wish to use it. So once you've edited a video, it then takes you, it'll add it into your content library. And so Canvas, something to keep in mind with Canvas, with using EdPuzzle and Canvas together, is that you would do all of your creating your lessons. So getting, adding a video, adding in questions, have videos ready to go in your content library on EdPuzzle. And then when you log in on Canvas, it will you'll use the external tool option on Canvas for an assignment. And then I'll show you this real quick. So you go in as an assignment, do just like a random thing, and then under submission type. And Ashley, this is something I guess on your end, do you know right offhand, like this, the LTI connection, is this set up for everyone like school-wide?
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect. So they should see EdPuzzle down here as an option, like that has a connection. And then under external tool, There are a couple of steps like in the in the beginning end to set this up, to set up a class. Like as you saw, I had a few classes there that was like spring 2023 PD or something. But once you have that done, a class created, then you can come in here and say, okay, this is that video I just created. These are the steps then. So here, so the caveat with multiple attempts is you have to have multiple choice questions added. This video that I just pulled in, I don't have any added, so that's why it's giving me this message. But if I have multiple choice questions added, it gives me this drop down to allow multiple attempts. Right here is that toggle for preventing skipping. So if I don't want my students to be able to skip ahead, if I want to turn on closed captions, and then assign, and then this will push it out to my Canvas course. So just an important piece in terms of using those two together, the assigning to students, you do all this right in Canvas, and then students do it all in Canvas also when they're logged in as a student. Now I'm going to come back over here real quick and, okay. So earlier I mentioned one of my favorite things, like EdPuzzle as formative assessment. So I want to make sure I show you this, because when you, in this part, this view, you can see as the faculty, like you can see this in EdPuzzle, or you can see this in Canvas. So just kind of keep that in mind depending on how you prefer it. But after students have completed a video lesson on EdPuzzle, the data analytics that you get are really helpful. So this is one, as you can see, I've had students complete this lesson. You can view it a couple of ways. So student view right here, you can see, funny side note is there's an option on EdPuzzle to do an open class. And this, if you do that, there's an option to have it like give students anonymous names. So that's why, like, apricot turkey. I guess that's the only funny one on here, but that's when you go in to set up an open class, it's just an option you have if you want it to capture students' names, and when you do that, if you share an open class link, whoever's viewing that EdPuzzle video doesn't need an EdPuzzle account. That can be a really helpful way just to even share out a video with whoever, but it still captures the data for you. So it'll show you who watched it. It'll show you what their grade is, when they watched it. And then, for example, like Sylvia watched the entire video. She got a 77 on it. You can then click in on the student and it'll give you some more info. So it'll tell you how much time they spent on the lesson. It'll show you the number of times they watched a section in the video. That's what these numbers are. It'll show you the questions they got wrong. You can leave comments for them on each of the questions if you want to. And then when students are watching an EdPuzzle video, they actually can leave comments for you also on each question. So within here, again, you get some info about a specific student, but then what I really like also is you can look at it by question view. So you can look at it and, again, color coded, nice, as just like a quick glance to say, this isn't really a great example because a lot of my students just haven't finished the video, so that's why they're yellow or red. But theoretically, imagine that you're looking through the questions and they're like green, green, green. So it's like, okay, students did well on those questions, but then you get to one that's red or yellow. So you can click on it though, and it'll tell you who answered which way, which, again, like, I feel like is not obvious at all. It doesn't anywhere. Like, I'm always telling our product team this of like, it doesn't say anywhere here to click on it and get more info, but you then can see like, okay, this question everyone struggled with, or this question half the class struggled with, but it's something to maybe circle back and discuss or assign something else. So it just gives you really good info about how your students are doing throughout the semester or throughout a module. There's other things within here too. So live mode, if you're in class with students, live mode is where you project the video and you control the pace. So it sort of takes control of each student's device when they join the live mode session. And then as you get to a question, the question comes up on the student's devices and it will show you anonymously up on the screen, like how many people answered which way. And again, just a great opportunity for a discussion if the class was kind of split or anything like that. On this slide deck, I have a lot of other info in terms of newer features. I won't have time right now to go through all of this, but again, you have access to these slides. We added this fall, some of which I just showed, but playlists, the audio questions, closed captions, and then teacher assist. I will actually try to show you that real quick because it's a very handy thing in terms of saving time. So teacher assist is new, it's in beta, and it's sort of our version of machine learning or AI built all internally by EdPuzzle. But if you pull in a video from YouTube that doesn't have questions added yet, it will generate or suggest questions for you. You can then choose to either keep them in or delete them. But keep in mind this, again, if you get an error message when you try that, it's just because there's not enough other copies of that video in EdPuzzle for it to generate questions. Hopefully, eventually it will be, but that's how it works, is it uses the captions in other copies of the video to suggest questions. The second piece of this is, I feel like even is the best part. So it will auto grade open-ended questions for you. You can put in what you want your ideal answer to be for an open-ended question, and then it will suggest a grade for the students. So you can put in after, and this will take place after students have answered the questions. So you'll go in and it'll say like however many answers to grade. Let's see if I can find an example. When you're in a class here and pending to grade, 4 answers to grade. So you would then click this and go through here. Let's say that this is one that I've just like assigned to myself. So I don't have any like actual student responses here, but this is where you would put in what your answer is and then hit auto grade, and it'll go through and give all of the students a grade. You can obviously review. It's meant to be sort of an assistant. It's great to go back and see what grade it suggested for students, but that is within teacher assist. So the auto grading open-ended questions. Let me think within the new things. The student projects. Okay. So in the last few minutes that I have here, I want to show you this because I feel like with your students, this would be something you would want to maybe utilize. So student projects is a thing within EdPuzzle where you sort of flip it and you have your students find a video, add in questions, and then assign it to you. So, in terms of very like project-based learning, giving them a topic, or it could be, there's so many. So these slides have lots of different ideas and examples, but you would create the project, give them like instructions and a goal. Currently, there's 2 options. Students can either pull in a YouTube video or they can upload a video file. At some point, our goal is to have it so that students can screen record right on EdPuzzle like teachers can. But those are the options for video source. And then there is a slide on here also that talks about student projects and Canvas, because that is the one thing that doesn't work quite as well. You can't assign a student project through Canvas like you can a normal EdPuzzle lesson, but there's a workaround here. So that's linked in here. Student projects, again, is just one of those things that I think doesn't get utilized very often, but it can be really powerful. You just come up here to add content and then add a student project right here. And then once you've created it, it lives here in your content library. So you can look at, for example, I have folders. So I've sort of organized all of my video files or video lessons. And actually, if you create playlists, it's really helpful to create a folder and then keep all those playlists in there together, just kind of keep them organized. But then down here are student projects that I've made. So within here, again, lots of examples and different scenarios for using student projects. This slide is also really helpful. It's a Padlet, but it's someone from our community team made it in terms of different ways to implement EdPuzzle in your class. So lots of different ways if you want to sort of explore, think about different ways to use it. But the gist of it is taking a video, adding in assessment questions, the students watch the video, you can ensure that they're only watching that one that you assigned, and then you get the data analytics afterwards. We have other resources and resources. There's training courses. These are what I was going to show you. So we updated these recently too. So they incorporate the new features. This is a good place to start. Actually, EdPuzzle Beginner with Canvas, if you plan on using it with Canvas. And then there's EdPuzzle Intermediate. Then there's just some different topics and areas. I've done the 21st learning one, which was good. I think there's a project-based learning one, personalized learning. So some different avenues depending on what you're interested in. And then Ashley has my contact information, but anyone's welcome to reach out to me if you ever have questions on anything within EdPuzzle itself, like how to use it or ideas on how to incorporate it into your classes. Feel free to reach out. I'm happy to chat or brainstorm. And then, oh goodness, I know that was a lot of info in 30 minutes, but any questions that any of you have for me while we're on here together? Well, if you think of any at any point, feel free to reach out. I'll be at HEC in next week. I can't say in a couple weeks anymore. Next week, which is a conference in Indianapolis. So yeah, thank you all for joining. And then if I think of anything else, Ashley, I'll pass it your way too.
Okay. Well, Katie, I just want to thank you so much for taking time to join us and show us this.
Yeah.
I know I have used EdPuzzle in the past, but I did not know like 50% of the things that have been changed in the last few months. So I really appreciate you pointing those out.
Perfect. Yeah, we've honestly added so many things, even just in the last couple of months, that it's hard to keep up. So it's good to sort of have them all in one place. I have a slide deck that's like new features, but again, it's as someone starts to use it and then gets more comfortable, I feel like there's so many different ways to incorporate it into your classes.
Yeah, perfect. Well,
thanks.
if we don't have any other questions, I just want to thank you. And again, if you do come up with questions, just let us know and I can pass them along and
sounds good.
Get you going. So.
All right. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, everybody.